What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. I'm on Talks and Gaming today, people. Today, I'm coming back at you with another video. Now, today, I'm going to be going over some of the cool stuff that's been going on with Speed Duels lately. I don't usually do face cam or anything, so I wanted to just talk to you guys because I don't feel like I ever do anything like this, especially with my YouTube channel. But I guess this is kind of a face reveal, kind of not, because some of the beginning videos for my channel have my face in it. But yeah, this is what I look like. Hello. Nice to meet you. Um, but yeah, it's a really interesting format we're going into with Niagara coming up and the new ban list. Now, I'm sure you guys saw my video and everything. You're like, whoa, is this going to be like a new thing? Is this going to be just for an event? Right now, it's just event exclusive, right? But I think it's fair to assume that moving forward, this is going to be like a test run for a ban list. And because it's going to be a test run for the ban list, we're going to be seeing more and more changes as YCS progress and as the community as a whole progresses, or I guess the game itself progresses. Yeah, I think it's just a foundation, a start for what we're going to be seeing permanently in the future. And I think the list is really good. I do. I think this list is, a lot of people don't like it, and I understand because they hit a lot of our most staples, our best staples got hit, and then they also hit every meta relevant deck except for, Cyber Angels. And then after playing it, I realized that, yeah, they addressed burn, but Nightmare Wheel is still insane. That card is still very good, and so most of the decks I find myself making is still a stall variant. It's no longer the burn engine running into it, but I'm still playing Floodgates at 3, and I'm still playing Nightmare Wheels at 2. That's my 2 of right now. They didn't put any other cards in the game to 2, so I'm still on the Nightmare Wheel, right? I mean, Allure's at 2, so I guess I won't be playing Allure in my dark decks with Nightmare Wheels, but that's fine. I'll figure something out for it. But yeah, it's definitely a really neat format we just went into, or are starting with Niagara. And so the channel itself, I feel like, is just going to be us talking about decks for Niagara and decks with his ban list. I'll probably post here and there, decks you can play at showdowns and stuff like that. But for the most part, I've already gone over all those decks on the channel. So yeah, that's pretty much what's going on there. I played in a couple locals since this new ban list, and I've got second place at the one and first place at the other, so that's pretty cool. My second place win was, I believe, 14 people were there, which was pretty cool, and then my first place win was an 11-person locals, so both of those are pretty nice. I played Relinquished for the TCG Tournament City Games locals, and that was my second place one. Relinquished, I think, is really good this format. Again, I'm playing more like a stall controlled build. I'm relying off my Nightmare Wheels, and then, with Floodgate Trap Holes on the field, I'm able to set my opponent's monsters and then control any monster that they summon that's not stuck with the Nightmare Wheel. And it worked out pretty well. The only downside of the deck really became that I, was relying off the wheels, right? And they take up a monster or a spell and trap card zone, and my deck is based around equipping my opponent's monsters to my spell and trap from my spell and trap card zone, which is fine, I guess. It's definitely cool. The second deck I played was my Sparkman Turbo deck. Reinforcements to the Army went to 1. So I was like, this is one of my favorite decks of the format. I love Fusion Party. If you guys don't know, that's my favorite skill of the format. So Fusion Party Sparkman is the deck that I've been playing as my main deck, I guess. I have OTPT Sparkmans I'm really proud of. And yeah, the deck in general is just a casual deck that I've been having a lot of fun with, but I'm topping locals with it. I played Cyber Angels around 1 and 2 of my locals yesterday, and I beat them both. And then I played against Duck, and I won against Duck. I 2-0'd Duck. And then in round 4, I played against Ancient Gear and just completely 2-0'd Ancient Gear. And it's just a really interesting deck because, I'm playing Warrior Lady as my 3 of in that deck. I'm playing Nightmare Wheels as a 2 of course, in that deck. Again, Floodgates. You're playing Plasma Vice in that deck, so you kind of really have to be putting the monster to defense mode. That way you can really utilize attacking and defense. And yeah, the opponent brought out the Ancient Gear Golems and stuff, but I had the DD Warrior Ladies to clean it up, and that's just kind of what happened there. When I was playing Relinquished, I was having a lot of fun playing it. It's definitely my go-to usually when a format changes. That's one of my main decks I've been playing since the beginning of Speed Duels, really. And yeah, it's kind of one of my favorite decks again. It's my go-to. And yeah, so being able to participate in that testing thing, it was pretty good. You're more than likely going to be seeing a video on Monday which probably is going to be the day before I post this video. And it's going to be the Buys Regret who hosts the tournament. He has his own YouTube channel. Highly recommend checking that out. He's going over that deck profile for first place. Again, I got second place with Relinquish. You'll probably see deck profiles for my last 2 tournaments on the channel this week. But yeah, it's again, the Relinquish deck is really cool. I have a lot of fun playing it. I don't play Allure in my deck because I feel like pre-prep just does exactly what I need Allure to do, except it's kind of better, really. So, and then being able to float between your Faceless Magician and your Relinquished, this format I think is just really good. There's not a lot of outs to Relinquished, I feel like, and that's a good thing for that deck. So having a lot of fun playing both of those decks right now. And again, you're going to be seeing a lot more decks in the future. The Light deck just got posted yesterday, as you saw, and that deck is incredible. Dan was the one piloting that deck, and that guy is a really good player. And if you haven't seen that video, again, highly recommend checking it out. Light Monsters are a cool deck, and he's really happy with that deck. And just seeing the weird and unique decks that we're getting from this new format, it's mind-blowing. It really is. And it's also just really cool. But yeah, other things we should really talk about. Paradox Box is coming up. It's like, what, August right now, comes out in October, beginning of October at that. And so essentially, we should probably talk about what's going to change, like what's going to come, what's going to change. And I feel like I haven't really talked much about it at all, because I'm not that excited for it, because I feel like it's not really going to be that different. See, the biggest thing I'm thinking, right, these are my predictions. It's not, I don't know anything outside of what you guys know. I'm not some sort of god or anything. Everything I say on the channel is really just a prediction because I don't know anything. But I think Gate Guardian obviously is coming. We all know that that card is going to be making it to the format. And so I think the skill we're going to get, being that Foolish just got hit to 1, it's going to be like a graveyard-esque effect that's cheated out from your deck by banishing materials from your graveyard. Either one material or all 3. If it's all 3, that skill's unplayable. We're not going to be playing Gate Guardian. That's the other thing. This card's going to be unplayable if the skill is not crazy. But I also thought the same thing about Volcanic Doomfire, and Doomfire is playable. So we're there. So again, I think it's just going to be like a skill that's going to be banishing the materials from graveyard to cheat out the Gate Guardian, and maybe have some extra bonus skill to go with it would be kind of cool. Probably also getting a weird Labyrinth Wall skill. I could see that happening for sure. And maybe make it the dueling skill. I have a short on the channel going over that. I think it's going to be based around the dueling skill. And the reason why I think that is because of the Forbidden Cyber style skill that came. That's pretty much the dueling skill, except worse, in my opinion. Still not bad. I feel like that all the downsides make it bad, but there's this girl at my locals in Frederick, Maryland, and she's been playing it, and that deck she's been doing really well with it, and that's like really cool to see that skill is actually getting played in Chimera Tech, whatever, Fortress Dragon, I think, unless I'm thinking the TCG. I think I was thinking the TCG was that name, but that card's really good, and so is Cyber End Dragon. Cyber End Dragon's like crazy, and being able to do piercing in a format where we have Floodgate, Sphere, and Book is like really good, and that deck just kind of does that. Anyway, I'm off topic again, but I just really think that the Labyrinth Wall skill that we got from Duel Links is going to be that skill that we get here, or some weird variant of it. Hopefully better, because that skill's not that great. You start with 2 cards in hand and Labyrinth Wall in the field, and we saw how Call the Haunted is treated. And yeah, this skill is that a -2 for a 3k defender. I don't know, it just doesn't seem that great. And then we should talk about Cyrus a little bit. I feel like Cyrus is going to be coming to this box, and yeah, that's kind of cool in general. So Cyrus coming would be like Roid's coming to the format, right? And the Roid cards are all like generic, I guess you could say. Submarine Roid can attack directly, changes to defense mode after it attacks. Drill Roid, whenever it attacks a defense monster, destroys it. Guy Roid came in the GX box once per turn. It can't be destroyed by battle, which I guess is fine. All the cards are pretty neat. Parasite Roid. All right, that's the card I wanted to look at the most. If that card comes, that card's a cool card. And I like it. I think it's the card that can attack twice. It's like a 1600 attack point monster. It's generic to Roid monster to summon it. That card could be really cool in this format. But outside of that, I don't think that deck is going to do anything outside of being another spell-proof deck. Like, again, this is another one of those decks that's like, the skill has to make the deck. And if the skill isn't there, or the skill is kind of how every skill in the GX box was, and it's just bad, we're not going to see Roids in the format. At least I don't think so, unless they bring Kite Roid, which is a Duel Links exclusive and anime exclusive card. If they start bringing in like anime exclusive cards to the format or Duel Links exclusive cards, that would be phenomenal. Like, I 100% am behind that idea. I think that we should be doing that entirely. We're already bringing OCG cards. Like, why not bring the anime cards? And it could be like a speed duel, like, you know. I don't know. I just think it's a cool idea. But if Kyroid comes and we have a playable Roid monster, maybe the Roids could be good. Shuttle Roid would be a neat one, but I think that card might be a little too good for the format, being that we only have 4,000 life points. Maybe. And then, you know, we got Bashi Misawa is coming. He's going to probably have the Water Dragon cards. And Water Dragon's cool, especially Water Dragon Cluster. It's just going to be very hard to summon. Like, and again, if they do this and bring Water Dragon Cluster to the format, it's really cool because like it has the quick effect tag out the special summons 2 of your Water Dragons from your deck, ignoring the summoning conditions. I can't remember off the top of my head, but something like that. And if that's the case, then like that would be insane. And then we get all these cool like H2O cards that go with it, and then Oxygeddon. We already have Hydrogeddon. Or did I get that backwards? No, Oxygeddon, Hydrogeddon. And then the one that works with the dragon monsters, you can summon normal dragons from banishing it or something like that. I can't remember. But yeah, that deck has potential, 100%. It's just, again, inconsistent, and if they find a way to make it consistent with the skill, we're going to see a decent deck, especially with Cluster. Like, if we get Cluster, that deck is good. And then the last character is going to be Jane Yuki, and I'm not a big Neospatian fan. I'm not going to lie to anybody here, but my brother is. So I hope it's Neospatian for his sake. But for my sake, I hope we get Elemental Hero Stratos. I hope we get Elemental Hero Lady Heat. I hope we get Elemental Hero Heat, Woodsman Ocean. I hope we get Canopes, Rose Lady. I think it's named like Iceberg, Ice Edge or something like that. I want the 2nd gen hero monsters coming. Like, that would be so good. That would be insane. Being able to get like all these crazy cards, and I love Ocean and I love Woodsman, I love Terra Firma. I think those cards are just so neat, and they're like the manga cards for what Jaden would play in the manga, and I just genuinely like those cards and think that that would be a better route for them to go into rather than the Neospatians, because again, I'm not a big Neospatian fan, but we also know what the next set is, and it doesn't have Jaden in it, or at least Elemental Hero Jaden in it. And so that makes me believe more and more that this is going to be a Neospatian set. And so Neospatian cards we can talk about, all of them are bad in my opinion, except for Grand Mole, and we won't get Grand Mole because it's going to be at 3, and that card just outs every card in the deck. And if we do get Grand Mole, that would be crazy. Man, but that's the only good one I can think of. Neospatian Aqua Dolphin is also one that we see in current TCG Yu-Gi-Oh! And Warrior builds. And that one's cool. You get to like look at your opponent's hand, discard card from your opponent's hand. Like, that's neat. I'm not gonna lie about that, but I also don't think it's like good. I don't think it's going to do anything in this format. And then you got Hummingbird, but we won't get the fusion because they can't reprint it, so that's cool. We got the Dark Panther Glow Moss. It would be neat if we got Glow Moss and they made it decent. Like, if they gave us Glow Moss and was like, by the way, the Glow Moss fusion has its own skill, that would be like, all right, cool. The worst Neospatian got a cool skill, making it playable. That's one thing I like about Speed Duels, is making these like really bad cards that never saw meta play just become playable. And I'm really into that idea. I like Nightmare Sonic Blast. Nightmare Sonic Blast was really cool. And it made Serpent Night Dragon a really cool deck. And I think that deck is going to continue to be really good in Speed Duels as long as we can continue to get dragon support. Like, any normal dragon support we get for Red Eyes or Blue Eyes is immediately a Serpent Night Dragon support, like Silver Scry. It's quick to play Monster Reborn for normal dragon monsters. That card could be so good. And then, again, off topic, I do it all the time. But yeah, there's just a lot of really neat cards. And uh, I think that the Neospatians have potential. Um, I just don't think the potential is going to be good, especially if they're just going off of the original support, kind of like how we got with the last hero stuff. So I just hope that in the end we just get the next gen heroes. It's looking a little grim for that, so we're probably getting Neospatians next. Um, but again, we're going into the next set that also just got announced. It's that Shadow Rider box. I can't remember what the actual name for it is, but I'm calling it the Shadow Rider box. We have some confirmed characters for it, which is really cool. Number one, we have the Dark King, whatever it is, Supreme King Jaden, which is the evil hero deck, which is really cool. It works really well with the other deck that was announced for the format, which is the Archfiend deck, the one based around like rolling a dice. It's the chess piece ones, which is also really cool. I'm into the idea a lot. And then we could possibly get Summoned Skull finally, if that becomes a deck, and that would be crazy. I don't know why we don't have that card. Summoned Skull is so cool. But if we don't get Summoned Skull, we might get Archfiend of Lightning, which is just Summoned Skull as an effect. And yeah, it's just really neat to see that those two characters are coming in their Fiend decks, and they're going to be able to coexist together because the evil heroes work with Fiend monsters. So we'll see what kind of cool cards come with it. And then we can also see if Into the Darkness Below is actually going to make a comeback of any sort or be good in the format of it in any way. But we'll have to wait and see for that. The other cards that got announced for the set are really interesting. So if you don't know, we got a box picture. I haven't done anything on my channel about it, so I've been busy. I'm sure you guys know. But we got a box picture, and we see the top of the box. And the top of the box shows, like I said, the Archfiend character, but it also shows two other characters, being Atticus and the Vampire Lady. So we're getting vampires and we're getting Red Eyes support, which is incredible. That's actually really good. And yeah, I love zombie monsters, but we don't have any good zombie decks in the format besides Skull Servant. And I like Skull Servant. I don't dislike it. It's just, I've seen it since, what was it, the first set of Speed Duels, the first booster set. And that's been about it. We got Vampire Lord. But now Vampire Lord getting power crept because our main monster is Vampire Genesis. So we're getting vampire cards, and that's really cool. And we can see other vampire cards too that make that deck really good, like Vampire Bats. We could see like, what is it? Vampire Sorceress, the Vampire Kingdom. If Vampire Kingdom comes to the format, Vampires is our best deck. Like, we just need the field spell, and that deck becomes our best deck of the format. And it just has so much potential, especially if our skill is based around like cheating out Vampire Genesis a little bit easier or getting Vampire Lord out a little bit faster. Like, that could be really cool. It's also really cool to mention that these characters aren't part of Duel Links, and that's a first because we haven't gotten anything like that except for Dark Jesse, which is an event in Duel Links. So that's like really cool to see that we're actually moving past Duel Link, being like, okay, no, we're going to take a step back away from this and actually make this into our own thing. I like that. That's a cool idea. We're getting characters we never got in Duel Links, making people want to play the game more because they can't just pick up Duel Links and play a character that they like. And yeah, we get Atticus, and that's Red Eyes Darkness Dragon, which is a crazy starter deck. I think it was our first structure deck. I could be wrong on that, so I'm sorry if I'm wrong with that. But he was one of our first structure decks, and now we're getting it in Speed Duels. So that's cool, and give us cards like Red Eyes Darkness Dragon, like Red Eyes Black Dragon reprint. Maybe it's a new art. That would be awesome if we got a new art for it too. And then like probably Red Eyes support. Maybe the Red Eyes Beat Chick. I don't know what it's. Maybe I think it's called Black Dragon Chick now. It got a name. Its name changed. And then we can get like Red Eyes Baby Dragon. That would be a really cool reprint for Speed Duels. Gearfried the Red Eyes Knight. And then like, I don't know, other really cool Red Eyes Black Dragon Archfiend or something like that. It could just open up an entire world for Red Eyes that we didn't originally have. And it's just, yeah, it could be really cool. It could be really, really interesting to see that, yeah, the deck actually do something. And there's spell and trap cards too, like Insight. Insight should definitely be in the format. There's no reason why Red Eyes Insight shouldn't be here. And with Insight, the Red Eyes trap that monster reborns Red Eyes from the graveyard, Darkness Dragon, and a skill that boosts Darkness Dragon. Like, this deck has high potential. We're going to be definitely seeing meta with it. Evil Heroes again are coming to the format under Supreme King Jaden, and they're all really interesting cards. Like the fusion monsters are all based around the normal hero monsters we got in the GX box, and then they're all going to be able to be utilized in this deck with Dark Fusion, which I think I confirmed secret rare for it, which is really cool. But they get pretty much evil versions of themselves, and that's really neat. And then if we get any of the other like what are they? Fusion monsters for the deck that are actually decent, like the one that takes a Fiend and a Rock monster or something like that, Fiend and an Earth monster. That could be really cool. Or the one that's the Malicious, that's played in Duel Links as one of their EX decks or whatever. It could be a really neat format or a really neat like boost to that deck that make it like competitively playable. If it's based around the normal monsters though, it's not going to be great. I'm not going to lie to anybody here. It's not going to be our best deck, but it's going to definitely be fun to play. And I think that's one of the coolest things about Speed Duels is that every deck that comes out is like fun, right? If you're not playing for competitive play, you're playing it to play with your friends, because you guys don't like the regular format right now, like a lot of people don't. And that's completely fair. I played both formats, and there's a lot of times where I'm just like, oh, I actually hate TCG, but I do the same for Speed Duels too. But I think that this kind of brings like a really fun twist to Yu-Gi-Oh! In general, especially when we start bringing like fan favorite characters and cards to the format, like Red Eyes, Vampires, and stuff like that. But yeah, anyway, it's been really fun talking to you all, and I like being able to like talk, get this kind of stuff off my mind, just, you know, rant about Speed Duels alone, but to you guys, because I know you guys will watch it and give me feedback, and it's just really nice to be a part of this community, be like, you know, just be able to talk to each and every one of you and know that you guys, like, for whatever reason, like my content. That's really cool. Before the GX box, I was only at 100 and I think 50 subscribers. The GX box got released, and when it did, I just went on this grind, and I now am sitting at 658 subscribers, which is like mind-blowing to me. I didn't think I was going to get past 100, and I'm probably going to look back a year from now, and I'm going to be like, man, I was at 660 subscribers a year ago, and now I'm at X amount, and I'm going to like be like, that's mind-blowing. And it's like really interesting to see where this channel has gone in the year that I've been doing it. September will be 1 year since I started the channel, which is also crazy to think about. I've been on this grind every week for the last year, and it's just been a fun ride. It's been really cool. Again, I like being cemented in this community as a you know, a YouTuber, I guess, a content creator. I like talking to you guys, hosting these tournaments like Toxic Legacy. Now we have the Nuclear Tournament on Chronicles, and just playing against you guys in like the showdowns, and then also playing against you guys in the winner boxes. It's just really nice to be a part of this, and really nice to talk to each and every one of you. But yeah, again, I hope we can do this again soon, and it was great talking to you all, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.